The partial federal government shutdown is adding to the uncertainty for those who depend on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program for food. Budget cuts have come at a time when food banks in Oklahoma are facing increased demand for help feeding people.
The debit card that people on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program use to buy food has become a target for cuts by state and federal government. The U.S. House of Representatives has approved a bill that would cut $40 billion from the SNAP program over 10 years. A news report about Jason Greenslate, who uses his debit card to buy lobster, likely influenced some lawmakers.
They had lobster on special. We got lobster and coconut water.
Then Jason's off to the automated checkout counter. Food stamp card at the ready.
$200 to $100 a month, and you just go like, boom.
Thank you for shopping with us.
Just like that.
While Greenslate may be the face of food stamps for some members of Congress, that is not what organizations that deal with low-income people in Oklahoma see every day. Interning at Goodwill Industries is retired nurse and teacher Ramey Roberts, dubbed Ms. Ray by her students at Douglas High School, where she works as a substitute teacher.
With the increase in the utilities, the light bill and gas bill, there's just not enough money left to buy groceries with.
Ms. Ray is taking part in an AARP program at Goodwill as part of her plan to deal with the cost of food.
AARP gave me the referral. I came over, interviewed, and I'm volunteering right now as a marketing and development intern. And the AARP will supplement me with with the government's help. And that should help put food on the table.
Thomas McShane is a case manager for the Homeless Veterans Reintegration Program at Goodwill Industries, a program funded by the U.S. Department of Labor. McShane says the biggest issue homeless vets face is connecting with the numerous services that are available for them.
Thankfully, the food stamps programs and a lot of these other agencies, food banks and things like that, are helping keep these guys fed. So, but I would say the food stamps is definitely beneficial to the clients that I'm seeing.
After he returned from Afghanistan, it took McShane months to find a job, and he went on food stamps to stay alive.
Most all the guys that I come across are on food stamps, and they're working, They're working in any of the jobs that they can get, and a lot of times that's $8, $9 an hour. And some of these guys have some college, and they're living in shelters.
Kathy Wright is the programs manager for the SNAP program in Oklahoma. Each month, the state has been setting a new record for the number of people receiving food stamps, a trend that continued in August.
293,085 households and 628,956 individuals were included in SNAP benefits for August.
At a time when the SNAP program sees an increasing number of people receiving benefits, a new state law has gone into effect that removes people from the food stamp rolls who are not working or in job training. At the Department of Human Services, they are known as ABAWDs.
For the able-bodied adults without dependents, we have estimates, but there's no way to really, substantively figure how many. It could be around 20% or 40,000 individuals.
There will be another hit to SNAP benefits on November 1st as extra funding under the federal stimulus program runs out.
A 4-person household will lose $36 a month beginning November 1. A household single individual, the maximum benefit they get right now, October being the last month, is $200. November, it'll be $189.
Ms. Ray qualified for the minimum monthly benefit, $15. As the new state law took effect, Governor Mary Fallin launched her 4th annual Feeding Oklahoma food drive at the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma. Rodney Bivens is the executive director there.
The Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma and the Community Food Bank of Eastern Oklahoma provided enough food last year to provide 65.1 million pounds of food. That's enough to provide enough food to 150,000 hungry Oklahomans each and every week.
Each day, Bivens sees what hunger really looks like.
We've seen the face of hunger in elementary schools, in middle schools, in high schools, and now in colleges, senior living centers, and in neighborhoods where you'd think hunger would never exist, but exist it does.
In launching her food drive, Governor Mary Fallin made a similar point.
But the fact is that Oklahoma is still ranked as one of the top 10 hungriest states in the whole nation, and we have over 675,000 Oklahomans that for some reason or another experience food insufficiency.
Camille Landry is a writer and regular guest blogger on the Oklahoma Policy Institute website, where she documents the lives of Oklahoma's low-income residents. Her most recent blog tells the story of Marissa, a young woman with 2 small children, and the importance of food stamps in their lives. Marissa invited Camille to her home for dinner, and Marissa cooked the best meal she could afford.
Well, we had chicken legs and macaroni and cheese, and I think green beans, and then there were cookies and some canned fruit for dessert and tea.
As Landry talked with Marissa, it became clear just how much of a splurge the night's meal had been.
Yeah, the month prior she said that her bills were high. It was summertime, utility bills are really high. She has to pay electricity in the apartment she lives in. And she said they went 3 days or so where all they ate was potatoes.
Without access to food pantries, food stamps are a critical lifeline for Marissa and her 2 young children, something that Camille says is not unique in Oklahoma.
As a matter of fact, she's doing better than a lot of people in her neighborhood, a lot of people just like her. She knows how to cook, so she can bake a chicken leg where there are some households where people either don't know how to cook, or the power has been turned off, or they lost their belongings or didn't have them for one reason or another, don't have a skillet, don't have a working oven.
At the food bank, Director Rodney Bivens says he can understand the pressures that lawmakers in state and federal government face to balance budgets. But now, he says, is not the time to look to food stamps to accomplish that.
And I would say to all of them, I understand it. I understand the challenges you have, but you can't do it on the backs of poor people. It simply will never work, has never worked. And we need to get more jobs, create more well-paying jobs so people can provide for themselves.
Kathy Wright estimates DHS has about 1 month before the government shutdown begins to impact SNAP benefits. Rodney Bivens is bracing for the increased demand for food that will result from federal workers who already find themselves without income.
A lot of people will be out of jobs, won't have that check. As you know, a lot of people live from one paycheck to another. And so if they don't have that paycheck coming in, they'll have to start making choices.